Today we've got the Screamadelica Strat in the studio. We've been waiting for this for quite a long time, so stick around, let's talk about it. How's it going, guys? My name is Cooper Greenberg.
Chris Cline.
We got Chris and Cooper in the studio, just like always on the Guitar Channel. You are watching Alamo Music TV over here at Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we got a lot of new cool stuff coming out, and we want you guys to be the first to know about it. And, you know, nobody was the first to know about it on this guitar this week because it was announced over a year ago. We've been waiting forever for this guitar, proven by the fact that this is the 30th anniversary of Screamadelica by Primal Scream, and the 30th anniversary was 2021. It is not 2022. The album was released in 1991. But they announced this guitar last year. We've been waiting on it. We finally got a few in. And, you know, it's such a wild-looking guitar. A lot of fans of the record out there, and maybe none greater than the one and only Chris Cline. So I had to get him in here. If you don't know about Chris, he's over on the Pro Audio channel. We've done some stuff together, but yeah, it's somewhere over there. I don't know. Chris, I want you to talk a little bit about the album.
Yeah.
And kind of what you think about it, what you think when you see the guitar. You know, tell us what the vibe is.
Well, honestly, when I heard that this guitar was going to come out, I was kind of baffled by it because, you know, Primal Scream isn't a band that we, you know, bandy about here in the United States a whole lot. I've been a big fan since I was a kid, and Screamadelica did come out in '91. This is the actual album artwork that you see on the body of the guitar. Really important album. In the UK, well, the band is from Scotland, and in the UK, this record makes top 10, top 100 lists every year, and it has since 1991. It was kind of groundbreaking in that every song kind of had its own feel. It was produced by Andrew Weatherall, a very famous DJ and producer who actually today, the day that we're shooting this video, it's the 2nd anniversary of his death. But the album starts off with a song called Moving On Up, and it's very much like this Stonesy soul thing with a big gospel choir. And then it kind of goes off into rave land, and then you have a little bit of this like ambient stuff that happens, and then some acid house. So the record's all over the place, but that's what's so special about the album. Again, I'm baffled by Fender's decision to do this. I would like to know who decided to do this, because I think it's great. I'm not a guitar player. I know enough to be really, really bad still on guitar, but I kind of want to take one of these home because I love the record so much. But it's an important album, and you should listen to it. Part of the Creation family, and for those of you that know a little bit about independent record labels, Creation is the label that introduced us to the Jesus and Mary Chain, Oasis, My Bloody Valentine, Ride, the Boo Radleys, Teenage Film Stars. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But Primal Scream was a part of that gang. And I just can't say enough good about this record, and I'm probably going to go home and listen to it today 2 or 3 times. I actually have Exterminator, another album of theirs, in my car right now on CD because I'm an old fart and I need to have a CD player in my car because it sounds better than anything that I'm going to stream. And that's a whole nother story. We have another video coming out about that. But anyhow, great guitar. Cooper's going to demo his amazing skills with this guitar, and we're going to use the Volt 176, which we just got in from Universal Audio, to record the signal through the Fender. That's a Deluxe?
Yeah, we got the Hot Rod Deluxe back there.
Hot Rod Deluxe?
It's, you know, it's the amp that we like to use all the time. And, you know, we talked about, Chris said we're using the Volt 176. Chris, you know, on the Pro Audio channel, also in his career, he's fantastic audio engineer, so why wouldn't we collab on the demo? So he's going to be using this cool new interface. We'll talk about that a little bit more after the demo, talk about the guitar a little bit more. But yeah, let's hear how it sounds. So there you go. There's a little bit of sound off this guitar. Obviously, I'm not playing Primal Scream music. I'm giving something that's going to be broad and opens because, you know, we want to hear the sound of the pickups. We want to hear how the guitar sounds, hear a nice clean signal coming through the interface. But so that's the thing about this guitar. It is pretty wild looking. It's got the album artwork on there, but the bones of it are a very standard classic Stratocaster. I think that's what makes it really cool is that, yes, it pays tribute to a classic album with a very cool sound, but it's a nice blank canvas of tone that everybody can kind of get a good Strat sound out of. Alder body, Palfero fretboard. This is made in Mexico. But the pickups in it they call them vintage voiced single coil pickups. They're Alnico 5 pickups. One thing that's a really cool detail that I don't know if you noticed on it, on the pickguard, it's a 3-ply pickguard, and where it's red, where the paint comes in, it's covering up the black stripe in the middle. But on the blue and the yellow, you get to see the black stripe. I don't necessarily know why they did that, why the colors are layered like that, but I think it's cool because it makes this design pop out of the red. And then your heel plate, you got the Screamadelica as well. But, you know, it's a 9.5-inch radius. It's just a classic Strat. There's nothing fancy about it. No pickup switching options, which a lot of signature guitars do that. This isn't necessarily a signature guitar. I think it's more of a tribute guitar. So anybody that's, you know, a fan of the album or just wants a really good Stratocaster, it's a cool way to go. We talked about the Volt a little bit, and we're going to do another video coming up recording guitar at home. But I want Chris to kind of talk about this interface just a little bit because it did just get dropped. It's another thing that we've been waiting for quite a while on. But we were doing a video for the Pro Audio channel on this guitar. Go check it out. But tell me a little bit about the interface as well.
Yeah, so this is the 176, and there's also a 1. Now, the difference between the two is the 176 has the 1176 circuit or algorithm that Universal Audio has built into the box, as well as a 610 tube preamplifier. You can engage one or the other, or both. And for the 76, you have different settings as well. So the ratio, from what I remember, is fixed at 6:1. And then as you move through the different settings, vocal, guitar, fast, and then off, obviously off does nothing. But the other settings are going to change the attack and the release. It is USB powered. It can work with an iPad. If you're going to use this with an iPad, you probably want to use a wall wart with it so you don't kill the battery on your iPad. You might want to do that if you're on your if you're on your laptop as well. If you're on a desktop, then feeding power via USB is just fine. It has one dual mic line input, phantom power, your instrument switch, and then you have your volume control for your headphones, and then a button that says direct. What this allows you to do is it allows you to monitor what's coming out of your DAW, as well as directly through the input or directly through the box, so you don't have any latency coming off of the input. So if you're doing some overdubs and maybe you're doing some fast guitar licks, I mean, a 20 millisecond delay can cause issues. So there's a lot of technology in here. It sounds great. You have 55 dB of gain. Also monitor outputs, MIDI in and out as well, 5-pin DIN. So if you are a laptop producer and you have a couple of, let's say, Roland Boutique modules, you can interface via 5-pin DIN. There's a lot happening here. It's a really, really nice box. Sounds great. And I think that UA is a strong name, and those are pretty much the only plugins that I use when I'm doing sessions. But I think that them introducing something that's a little more budget conscious is going to really clamp down on people that are looking at Focusrite boxes or PreSonus or any of the other budget conscious interfaces. But this is a really great box, and it sounds really good too.
Yeah, so I think they kind of work well together because UA has pushed this as an affordable option from a company where beforehand you're already at least $1,000 in on the most entry-level interface. But they've done a lot of marketing around it, talking about the vintage tone with the 1176, the 610. It's built right in. You can get a nice old school tone direct in. This is a Stratocaster that's got a very vintage voice to me. Before we started, Chris was getting levels. There's a lot of noise. They're not noiseless pickups. There's a lot of 60 cycle hum. But it's an old school kind of vibe. And I think that is something that on a lot of new releases gets pushed off to the side. A lot of noiseless stuff coming out, a lot of different things that make it more of a modern guitar. This is, it's a modern guitar. It's got nice rolled fret edges. It's put together really nicely. The pickups sound great. They're all balanced and everything. But pays tribute to a classic album, pays tribute in sound to a very classic Fender tone. I kind of judge a Strat by its fourth position, you know, in between the neck and the middle. Mm-hmm. And I just love how it sounds very broad. There's not much of a thin kind of, you know, a tone that I associate with noiseless pickups. Sometimes they get a little bit thin. These are wide open, a lot of dynamics and a lot of just warmth, and I really dig it. It's paired well with this. So if you're looking to record at home, maybe you got a very small space, you got a laptop, and you just need something to connect, this is a really cool new option. And if you're a Primal Scream fan, this is pretty much the only option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to have this. And if you like how it looks, which I do, it's going to be polarizing to somebody that is not familiar. Part of why I wanted Chris to talk about the record is because I'm not an expert in Primal Scream music. I was listening beforehand. I recognized some songs that I do know, and I just never put the name to the song. It's great stuff. I recommend you check it out. And just put your hands on this guitar. You know, it's something unique, something very cool. I think the color work, it pops. It's really pretty. Yeah. But it feels great, sounds great. So highly recommend it. Very glad to finally get it in from Fender. And, you know, we got a lot of cool stuff coming out, more signature models, more custom shop stuff. So stay tuned because there's going to be some more. What do you think about the sound? Before we finish up, did you dig the sound of the Strat?
Sounds like a Strat. If you're looking for a really, really good Strat tone and something that's really, really unique, well, this is probably going to be your best stop right now because we're not going to see too many of these. It's really, really special, and I want one just because I'm a nerd and I collect things and I love the record, and it's just a great image.
I want to say too, he said there's not going to be many around. I think that they are out of production already. Yeah. So I was looking on the Fender dealer site. I could be totally wrong, but when it says a SKU is inactive on the site, it means they're not currently in production. There's no ETA, and there's only 1 year that is the 30th anniversary of the album. That was last year, but we finally got them in. I think we have 3. So if you want to learn more about the guitar, if you want to play it, come into the store. But I know a lot of you are outside of San Antonio. You can find it on alamomusic.com. Look up the Screamadelica 30th Anniversary Strat because that's where you're going to find it. And I hope you dig it. I hope to see you next time. Hope to get Chris on some more guitar videos. But in the meantime, check out the Alamo Audio Lab channel as well. There's a lot of cool info about recording, and I think it crosses over quite well.
Yeah. And we have a new demo.
Yeah.
Featuring this where we actually go into all the different circuits as well. So today we recorded this clean on here, meaning that we didn't engage the 610 or the 76, but we do have another video where Cooper's playing an 814 and we engage the 76, the 610, we do both together as well as clean, so you might want to check that out.
Yeah, I will link that above because it's something very cool. Plus, I love that guitar. It's the Alamo exclusive. You can only find it here. It's just cool stuff. So check that out. We'll see you next time.